And I have actually found out. I found out from researching and trying out just a random thing with Brawlbox. There is a way to take a character and put it on another bone set and then put it on a different character as long as you can compensate for the bones being a little bit different. Basically, the trans-in bone on each character is usually different from other characters. There's some that have the same trans-in bone, but most of the characters don't have the same trans-in bone. But if they are close, if the trans-in bone is close to the other character's trans-in bone, they have. Or you see, what I'm talking about here is bone indexes. That depends on how the hierarchy is with the bones, and if it's at the hierarchy of the trans-in bone, it matches closely, like one trans-in bone is 5, the other is 6, or 7, or it's 8, or somewhere in that range of the same other character's bone, trans-in bone number, then you can actually transfer it over on that character. I got Link to work on Captain Falcon because Link has the same trans-in bone as Captain Falcon, and I think they had the same the hip-in bone is another requirement. As long as you can get the hip-in bone and the trans-in bone to both be changed adequately for that character with this different bone set, then you can actually get another character rigged. You can actually get a character rigged onto a different character's bone set and put it on a different character. So I could put this guy that's on Bowser, I could put him on Link or Samus, because Link and Samus have a close relation of bones to Bowser's. I know what you're thinking. It looks nothing like their bone set. It's not that it looks like it. It's that the bones are set up in the same order. Okay, not in the same order. A similar order. Their bones are set up in a similar order. A similar hierarchy. If the hierarchy is similar enough to that character, you can transfer it over to the other character. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. It's just very complicated brawl hacking stuff. But yeah. Enough about that technical stuff. So, that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk about, really. I'm gonna. If you've noticed on Brawl Hack, Brawl Vault, I've uploaded Edward Elric import. I like it, but to be honest, my import wasn't very good because the model wasn't good because it was a model. Because the model was basically a model of Ed without his jacket, and then his jacket put on top of him, and that didn't work as well. So, luckily, my friend Juyasha found me the actual working jacket model of Edward Elric that I can show you. So I got an actual working jacket model of Ed, so that it's not him without his jacket and me just put his jacket on top. The reason I had to do that was because whenever I took the model, this model from the game, it would be textured improperly. It wouldn't be textured properly at all. I'd have to retexture it myself and figure out how it works, and that wouldn't look as good as it does in the game if I had done that. So I wanted to look good. So I went on Gmod. The Gmod website where people upload stuff on it. Gmod is ragdolls, and there was an Ed model that was uploaded, and it was Ed without his jacket. So I thought, okay, I'll just make the jacket red and then put it on top of that model and use that Gmod model. That kind of worked, but it didn't really work that well. And then my friend's like, hey, Giasa, my friend, is like, hey, I found this model, and you can just download it, and then you can use it. Because someone apparently ripped it from the game and did it themselves, and they did a really good job. I'm going to give them credit. I'm going to definitely give them credit because that's awesome that I had the actual model and it's actually textured properly. It's got all these nice shading, you know, that all that cartoony shading anime stuff, and it's got like, you know, that like random cartoony wrinkles on it and crap. It's good for textures because that's better than just putting on, you know, oh, here's yellow, here's red, here's black. Just because it's an anime character, I can do that. No, I really like it to have, you know, the shading and the little, like, you know, details on it. So I'm glad that I got this from the other guy. I'm glad Juyasha found that guy's upload on DeviantArt. It was a really random format that it was in, but I was able to find a program to convert the model format and put it in here in 3ds Max. So, and it's rigged. It's almost done. The only problem is there seems to be a little problem with the pants. Whenever I do the whenever I bend the legs and okay, now no, actually bending the legs isn't the problem. You see, whenever I put it in the Brawl Box thing and I have it do the animations for running, whenever I have him run as Marth, his butt kind of gets out of his legs. His legs and his butt don't match up correctly, and I don't know why that's happening. I rigged it pretty well. His waist is a little confusing to rig with his legs, and that's a little confusing, and it's hard for me to figure out. I've tried a lot of different ways of doing it. I think his model isn't like well ripped as much as I would want it to be. I don't know how to fix that really. I mean, I know how to fix ripped models most of the time, but the methods I've used to fix this one aren't working. That usually work. So I'm not really sure what to do. I'm just gonna probably just gonna, you know, test it out in an actual game and see how it looks whenever he runs. Let's see if that looks adequate for a release. And if it looks adequate, I'll release it. Hopefully no one will care that like there's a weird stretching going on with his legs. Anyway, that's all I really want to show you. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I want to show you. You guys are all like probably wondering, Shock, what's taking so long with your Shock character, putting him in Brawl? Here's my current model of Shock. I wanted to make the man, that's so freaking bright. Why is the camera doing that? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Focus. Okay, whatever. As you can see, you can't really tell, but Shock has a. I put a mouth on him. There's a mouth right there, and then I made the eyes shaped more like his cartoon than his other model. The other model had, you know, circle eyes, generic, and he had a generic circle. I made it an oval now, so I made it more like the cartoon Shock, and that's basically what I did on the head, as you can see. And I put in a mouth, but you know, this doesn't really work. The mouth looks weird, and whenever I zoom in on here, if I do a render right here, you can kind of tell that I just stacked the mouth on top. Well, I guess you can't. Okay, you can't really tell if you look, unless you really look like oh look, color texture difference, because the mouth isn't like, the mouth wasn't really part of the head at one point. You can kind of tell. Not really, not unless you're like looking for super detailed. But the eyes, for some reason, aren't working correctly. Whenever I put the eyes, the new eyes on this model, and I put it in Brawl, the eye texture doesn't work. It just messes up. The eyes look not like nothing. They're all like, the texture doesn't transfer right. The Brawl's like, what is this? What are the eye textures? What did you do? It doesn't like them for some reason. I tried to remake them in Photoshop, and it still didn't care that I remade them in Photoshop. It still didn't want to use them. I don't know why. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to remake them again from scratch. Make sure that I save it as like a different format, or I don't know. I'm going to try a different picture format, see if that changes anything. And then I'm going to keep trying the eye texture and getting that to work. And I might I might not use this because this head's a little, you know, not. I don't like this head after a while. After a while of using this head, it just doesn't feel as good as Monkey's head. Monkey made a really good head for Shock. The only problem with it is that the eyes weren't shaped the same way, aren't shaped like this, and the ears aren't curved. He thought that for good rigging purposes they should be out, you know, just pointed out, like one out here, one out there. So that's what he did when he made the model, which is fine. But that means I'm gonna have to reshape it a little bit. But that won't take very long. It's just that I haven't had the time and I haven't gotten around to working on this. I got all these freaking things I want to do.